Damn, my damn mic was off. I mean, dang, my mic was off. I ain't cussing on. Cussing on, man. I'm sorry, y'all, for cussing. Anyways, all right, man. So what I was saying was that the new characters on this game is very hard, man. They're not very hard depending on who playing it, but at the same time, it's the new characters that they coming out with, man. It got too many move sets, man, and it's ridiculous, man. So, but TM, see me and your fight style a little different. Like this guy, come on, man. He easy picking.
This isn't about just winning the match. Pride and bragging rights are at stake. Both fighters need to bring their A game to the table. The fight is now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Are they trying to slow down the pace with a projectile?
You easy picking, boy.
Plenty of time left. How's the match going to play out? Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. A battle of egos on display here as neither fighter wants to give up any ground. Okay, both fighters are taking a long step back. They're both looking to reassess the fight. Blocks the jump in. Forward throw to continue the pressure. Player 2 has them legit shook in the corner. What's the play here? Gets the parry in and adds some pressure. Holds out with the block. Knocked down. At this range, many attacks can connect if you stick something out. The neutral game is very important. Both sides backing off to form their game plan. Time's the only thing moving here. Did well to get the buff in. Anything could happen here. Parries the projectile. Zones with the fire. They need to rely on their instincts here. Both fighters are weighing their options and looking for an opening. Lots of distance here as both fighters look for an opening. They take some time to back off and regroup. Who's going to spring forward with the drive rush? Knockdown, and this is a prime opportunity to end things, but they decide to play it safe? That's a big gap. Who's going to close it? Oh, they're in the corner now.
Yeah, they too old. They is.
Player 2 picks up the
All right, man. I'm about to get him. Let's go.
psychological advantage. The next round is beginning. What's going to happen now? Player 2 did a great job of maintaining their drive gauge during that last round. It's going to be even more important in this next round to keep that up to help strengthen their grounding. Springs forward with the drive rush. Big exchange close. Oh wow, look, are you serious? They had a read on that jump the whole time? Knockdown and medium kick hit. Opt for the free flow kicks to get a drink in. Super hearts on deck for both fighters. How they approach the situation will be interesting. Our fighters are at a standstill. What's the play here? Drink level 4 and now a full house to play with. That corner is not willing to risk it for the overdrive. No drive left now. Is out the cage right there.
This is our destiny.
This is gonna kill. No doubt about it.
Let's go.
Outline zone.
Okay.
Why dare you find me a better match than that?
I would have followed again, but I'm just doing something, man. That's the only way. All right, let's go. I'm ready. I'm ready now. Let's. A losing streak. Ah. I mean, you're right though. They definitely overpowered though. They really is though, and that's for real. They definitely overpowered, man. You know, especially like you said, the new girl, both girls, as a matter of fact, all of them. Sagata, like I'm getting tired of fighting her.
We're in for something special right here, right now.
Her moveset kind of like Cammy.
The fight's now underway. This is Vicious with the play-by-play. Tries to bait him with the projectile. The low is denied. Any developments early in the round will set the table for the rest of the fight. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. A battle of egos on display here as neither fighter wants to give up any ground. Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Sticks the combo. Player 2 has them legit shook in the corner. Nails the MPS. Throw to tie the bow. They were stuck in the corner. Player 2 hits up the always important first round. They'll want to keep the ball rolling. They've piled up the knowledge. Now, how are they going to use it? Player 2 did a great job of maintaining their drive gauge during that last round. It's going to be even more important in this next round to keep that up to help strengthen their ground game. They're backed up into the corner.
Tell you, man, her moveset is just like Cammy, man. They just throwing fighters together, man.
Knockdown and their spacing is so on point right
They
now.
just throwing.
Burnout
That's what I don't like.
with free. Just goes.
They just throwing fighters together, dog. This at this point, man, they just throwing anything together
Capitalize on all
and putting the same characters. That's just crazy, man. That's crazy.
A new warrior has entered the ring.
I mean, by this time, I beat a lot of them. Oh, well, we can. We about to rank up. Oh no, we cannot let them get that star.
All right, first round. What's going to happen? This is a good range to test the opponent's reaction to fireballs. Both fighters are pretty much unscathed. Okay, we're in the early stages of the round. Can they use the corner to mount a comeback?
You see that, man? Just like Cammy, man.
Class all the way to center stage. Taking stock. Player 1 is going to have a hard time managing their drive now. This is the perfect range to reach out and tag them with something. Shoots off a fireball up close. Gets a normal hit from the driving ball. They're still good. Spends the gauge on the drive rush. Takes a trip. And it's, burnout activate KO. Player 2 on the board first with the win. They'll want to keep the pressure on. They've both showed their hands a little bit, so they must be thinking of a counter. Springs forward with the drive rush. Player hits them with a stop and pop. Good instinct to spend resources while they have them to tack on their game. Both fighters planning something? Uses the fireball to try and get a reaction. Yo, put that
And she got electrocuting powers.
player 1 can't use burnout activate.
Damn, I ain't mean to do that.
Impressed with this super. Closing it out with a super art finish. Nice and clean.
Yeah, they should be, man.
We're going into the final round tied up. Which fighter has it in them to grind out the win? This can lead to some big damage. Going in. Player 1 made a solid choice with the super. Let's see what they do next. They're sitting on a full super art gauge now. They're using a fireball to force a reaction.
I don't like that they make her look like Storm too, man.
Lead. Will they go for offense or defense? They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A dash? Oh, could be the big time win. What's next? Jump in, parry, throws him. Getting it all on the drive rush. Drive rush, links it. Player 2 with the rhythm, owning that thing. Side switch. What now? Player 2 has the super gauge and all the throw connects. They're in range. We gonna see a jump in? A gash? The Amora Pro. Okay, here we go.
Oh,
The count is over. Player 2 has gotta be feeling good getting the win out of that tap.
I'm getting tired of fighting that man. Hey, Dion, man, what you been playing though, man? What you been playing side besides Street Fighter? I mean, yeah, obviously, I've been on Digimon, but you know, you know what? Let me try to play with him. Assassin's Creed 3, 3. You went all the way back to 3. See, they got Elena, Maya, and C Viper. What is like the girl edition or something, man? Cause
I have no equal. Here comes a new challenger.
Give me that drama. Give me that grime. Are y'all ready? It's fight night time. Let's see what they try to do here in the first round. Throws air to air to deny them a chance. The throw hits. Now the fun begins. Player 2 pushes the opponent into the corner. Lots of aggression from both sides. All right, what's coming up next? Tries to keep the pressure on the opponent by zoning with fireball. Both fighters decide to reset the pace and assess the situation. Shoots off a fireball up close. Anything could happen here. Gets the counter hit throw. Knockdown. Holds out with the block. Porter makes it hard to escape. What'll be the setup here? Throws a fireball here, maybe as a simple zoning strat. Taking stock. They decide to hang back and rethink their game plan. Good job blocking the jump in. They're showing us just how patient they can be. They don't need to go for anything big. Even a light tap could win this round. Oh, burnout triggered. In there. Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Checks them with a projectile. Both fighters want to establish themselves early on. They choose to spend the meter to up the damage by a bit. Player 1 has a life lead. Can they use it? Their spacing is so on point right now. But who's gonna blink first? Player 1 will need to play it conservative until their drive refreshes. So, what's next? Burnout activates. Both fighters have a full super meter on deck. The winner will be the one who brushes that off and keeps going. Looking to impress with this super. Oh yeah, that's what I like to see. In real grandpa. Oh, they have a bit of OG spice. Drives it back, misses. A real test love tap to close. Player 2 brings it home. Let's see if they can build themselves a...
let's bring it to him.
Right back into the rematch. We ain't even close.
Let's bring the fight to him.
A little too greedy there. Raise on the pressure with the projectile. Player 1 will be in a world of hurt if their drive gauge runs out. Uncomfortable space here. Can they clip each other on the edge? Player 2 chases them down. They've been pushed to get some.
All right, let me focus.
Player 2 picks up the first round. That'll give them a psychological advantage. How will they take advantage of everything that's happened up until now? Player 2 did a great job of maintaining their drive gauge during that last round. is going to be even more important in this next round to keep that up to help strengthen their ground game. Can they stop this light lead from getting bigger? Barely blocks the jump in. That's a springs forward with the drive rush. Player 2 blocking that drive impact isn't going to work. Player 2 holding onto that drive rush to keep it going. Hits them with a shotgun bomb. One mistake here is all that's needed to finish. Uses the gauge for a super arm. Big anime vibes with Imperial Dance. Burnout. Expect the tempo of the match to change. Blocks it. The low. You've got to be mindful of reach and jumping. Digs in deep to get that drive in. Player 1 needs to hold out until their drive gauge burns out. Player 1 can't let this simmer. They gotta start cooking. Make not go. Make smart use of the gauge. Oh, bends it on the fireball. This is the final round. Expect to see some fireworks. Uses their drive gauge. Lots of watching from far that round. But is it all about to change? Oh, burnout triggered. Player 2 is in a pretty good situation with a meter advantage. Perfect execution with the anti-air. Player 1 needs to use the threat of the corner here. A jump. One burns out. Shakes things up with a fireball. Doing some quick planning. And they burn out in sync. Player 2 pumps the brakes on the impact. Excellent block. Sticks out a kick. Gotta do better than that. Oh my god, what a throw set. The drive impact doesn't work. Only subtracts that off. Player 1 burn out, but they may have a plan here. Both sides getting ready. Player 2 has a full drive gauge, but is on the brink of death. Nice fireball. Here corrects them. Oh, stun. Bad news is on the way. Scrambling, he gets them. I can't
Damn, man.
Player 2 has got to be feeling good getting the win out of that absolute carnage.
Well, my stuff. Now my stuff was down here earlier, but I got it back to 20. Now it's dropping again. I don't know. I don't like playing them new characters, man. It take too much, like, I don't know, too much thinking, man. Oh my leg hurt. All right, that's it, man. It ain't nothing else. I don't know, man. I ain't know. It ain't really too many games I'm interested in no more, man. This game I thought would be alright, but I ain't gonna say it's a lot of games that I just haven't played. Some of the games I got the time, but I don't have like the patience, like this Sonic racing game should be cheaper than this, man. Look at that, 2K6 already at 48 $48 already. They think they slick. They think they slick. Ain't nobody buying that, man. I ain't. Yeah, man. It's some about these games that they coming out with, man. It's just I don't know. It's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. I don't know, man. And like I'm with you too, man. I think GTA gonna be a flop. I really do, man. Like that story, or probably like the Bunny and Clyde type story, man. It's probably gonna be a flop. I know, and it just came out, didn't it? But I'm gonna tell you something though. They really make their money off VCs, man. People that play, so that's why they did that. You know. So Street Fighter 6 is hot, or is that just because I been playing it? I don't. They need to. I need another. See, I want to play. I need to play another Super Smash Bros. Man, that's what I want to play. Matter of fact, let's see. Do they got something like that, like a battle royale type? Oh, they took that game away though, man. Multiverse. I forgot. But you ain't never lied. You ain't never lied. Oh, look, I'm gonna tell you a game coming out though that I'm definitely getting. Look, let me show you, man. Hold on. Oh, what's going on, man? I'm chilling, man. Hang into that. Chilling. What you been up to though, man? Hey, Glizzy, I know you got some games for me to play, man. I already know you do. What you got for me, man? What you got? Digimon? No, I mean not Digimon. I mean Pokemon. I'm glad I didn't get that Pokemon though. Thank goodness. I've been sick about the goddamn. You know, Hey, what you think about this team? I'm getting this to you. Let's go, Jag. I'm getting. I'm getting them.
Have you heard? Tales of a legendary side-scrolling action game that once drove arcades into a
I remember I
frenzy?
used to watch the little show they had, Double
This
Dragon.
series that enthralled countless gamers. Its spirit lives on today. Double Dragon Revive. A new story springs into action in the world of the original Double Dragon. To rescue her, the twin dragons rise once more.
You made it, huh?
An homage to arcade classics, you complete stages to progress in this battle-focused action game. Players can choose from 4 characters. Repeated button presses perform dynamic combos to repel oncoming waves of enemies. You can grab enemies and pummel them, or throw them in your direction of choice. Slam them into groups of enemies, or even send them flying off the stage. Your attacks adapt to different situations. Near a wall,
Okay.
you can unleash a series of strikes. Smashing an opponent you've grabbed into the wall triggers a devastating follow-up. When you're surrounded, unleash a powerful hyper blow to wipe enemies out in one fell swoop. Aerial hyper blows gain different properties depending on your current altitude. You've got a wide arsenal of attacks at your disposal. Find the best option for your current character and situation. Each stage is
I might try that
packed with
Battlefield,
diverse
man.
gimmicks. Use the terrain and objects to outwit your foes. Some gimmicks are formidable enough to take down even the strongest enemies in a single blow. Each stage has unique gimmicks. Make the most of them. Weapon-based actions, the hallmark of the Double Dragon series, make their return. From knives, to tonfas, to hammers packing some serious punch, there's a wide variety of weapons.
I don't know, man. The gaming, I don't know. The gaming industry is trash, man. It really is, man. Just something about games nowadays, just like they just care about that price tag, and I get it, you got to make money, but where's the love? Oh, you wasn't the one telling me it was good. Somebody was. Was it? Somebody told me to get it. Somebody told me to get it. I can't remember who though. This Pokemon looked terrible, man. I'm wondering what IG gave it. Let's see, y'all. Ain't no way they gave this game a 9. There is no way they gave it a 9.
For the past few years,
Ain't no way they gave
developers
this game a 9, bro.
experimenting with the Pokemon formula 2021's Pokemon Legends Arceus redefined what it meant to catch a Pokemon, and 2022's Pokemon Scarlet and Violet broke from the linear structure to let you take on gyms in any order. With Pokemon Legends ZA, Game Freak sets its sights on rethinking the battle mechanics. For the first time, Pokemon battles are real-time, with attacks utilizing a cooldown system and positioning playing a key role. This fresh take on the battle system keeps Legends ZA engaging from start to finish, but a bland presentation leaves Legends ZA feeling like a relic of the past. Pokemon Legends ZA exclusively takes place in Lumiose City, the crown jewel of the Kalos region that is heavily inspired by Paris, France. A canal bisects the city, cafes can be found on nearly every block, and the Prism Tower, modeled after
These graphics are terrible on
sits
here.
directly in the center. It's odd to play a Pokemon game
For this to be a
set within
$1 billion
walls of a single
company,
town.
man.
But Lumiose City is probably one of the only
This-
places in the Pokemon universe that could support an entire
this is
game.
garbage.
That's not only due to its size, but also thanks to
This
its
is
history,
garbage,
which
man.
was established in 2013's Pokemon
Like,
X
for real,
and
man.
Y. Taking place only 5 years after the events of
I mean, look
Pokemon
at
X
this.
and Y means Legends feels like a sequel rather than a spin-off. By day, you're tasked with uncovering the truth behind rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon popping up all over the city, and by night you're climbing the ZA Royale tournament ladder. Before long, these two goals become intertwined, and missions alternate between hunting down Mega Evolved Pokemon and raising your rank in the ZA Royale. Each rank introduces you to a new opponent who represents a different faction in Lumiose City. Over the course of the tournament, you'll spend time with a martial arts club and a crime syndicate, as well as mingle in aristocratic society. As you're getting to know these characters and their backstories, rogue Mega Evolved Pokemon will threaten the city and you'll need to defeat them before ranking up in the tournament. It's a predictable structure, but one that affords Game Freak the opportunity to delve into different sides of Lumiose City and its eccentric denizens. Ivor is a hulking man with long blonde hair who wants to tear down the wild zone so Pokemon and people can live together in harmony. Corbeau is a sharply dressed mob boss who's dedicated his life to making Lumiose City a safe place. These characters and the people they represent give texture to Lumiose City and its inhabitants that most Pokemon games tend to lack because of how quickly you move from one town to the next. It feels like Lumiose City is a melting pot of different ideas and beliefs regarding Pokemon and their value within society. The problem is that visually, Pokemon Legends ZA doesn't reflect that at all. Lumiose City is broken up into multiple districts, but they lack visual distinction from each other. Most buildings look identical, while streets and alleys all share a flat gray color that makes everything feel sterile. There are some exceptions, such as the Lumiose Museum and the Galleria de la Lune, both of which take advantage of the setting, but these are outliers. You'd think the aristocratic class would spend their time in a fancier part of town, but aside from the hotel they congregate in, their neighborhood is indistinguishable from the many others that comprise Lumiose City. This lackluster presentation extends to most aspects Mega Evolved Pokemon's health bar while dodging area of effect attacks. Unlike most battles, victory isn't guaranteed by launching super effective attacks and overloading 3D
I gave it a
Pokemon
7.
games. It's
No.
frustrating how far
They gave it. You gave this a 7, but gave Digimon a 7. No. That gave Digimon a 9, 10. Mm-mm.
The Honda Civic behind me is next level awesome. And it's a hybrid.
It's game on with a 200 horsepower hybrid powertrain. Plus, it comes in a hatchback. Now this is fun to drive.
The Asus ROG Xbox Ally X is a fascinating little device because while it's being sold as a sort of handheld Xbox, it's actually more of a sequel to last year's incredible Asus ROG Ally X. But
I almost got me one yesterday,
can't
man.
be ignored because it is the first device to
I
launch
almost
with
bought me
support
one.
for the new Xbox Full Screen Experience.
I almost did,
This
man.
allows the handheld to boot straight into the Xbox.
The only reason I
app
probably didn't buy it
without
because I
having
couldn't go
to
pick it
explore
up.
non-gaming related background tasks that typically load when you boot up Windows 11. In a lot of ways, this partnership feels like Microsoft's response.
I feel like I would have bought it,
OS, and for the first time,
but I
since
feel like if you'd
2022,
bought it, I think it should have
it
came with
might
a
actually
year.
have something. So while
It should
we
have came with a
hesitate to
year
call the
subscription
Xbox
of
Ally X and Xbox,
Game
no matter
Pass,
what
maybe
Microsoft's
6 months.
marketing claims, it does feel like a clear evolution of handheld gaming PCs and a sign of what's to come once the full screen experience launches for all PCs sometime in 2026. Either way, the Xbox Ally X is the new benchmark for handheld gaming PCs for the foreseeable future. Ever since the Steam Deck came out, most handheld gaming PCs have looked very similar to each other. They've been essentially rectangles with a big screen in the center and controller buttons on the sides. The Xbox Ally X also fits this, but with a twist. 2 jutting plastic grips meant to emulate an Xbox controller. After using the device for about a week, we can see the vision. Because despite the Xbox Ally X weighing more than the original Ally X, it's even more comfortable, and that older handheld was no slouch either. That's because the weird controller
Yeah,
fits
me too.
in your hands,
You
and
might-
avoids the problems
and I get
other
it.
handhelds run into
I'll
when
definitely
they
get
start
that.
to dig into your hands after
That'd be a
a
no-brainer
while.
for me.
The Xbox Ally X is slightly larger than the original.
That'd be a no-brainer.
42 inches long,
I get it.
4.76
Right,
inches
I get
tall,
that.
and 2 inches thick at its thickest point. It's also slightly heavier, weighing in at 1.58 pounds compared
It's
to
'cause I'm a
4.9 pounds on the
PlayStation guy, you know.
Ally X. But despite the larger size, the two devices have nearly identical button placements, save for a few radical changes. For one, the Armory crate
It's a
button is
power
now
thing,
on
though,
the left
man,
side
because
of
the thing
display,
is-
and pressing it brings up the Asus Control Center tab, but within the Xbox game bar. Then on the right side of the display, what used to be
But
a
it's a
button
ROG
on the Armory
Xbox.
Crate app is now a library button, which just brings you to the
The
library
Xbox
section
button.
of the Xbox app. That Armory Crate
Now,
button on the
I'm
Xbox
watching
is
this on the
not open,
ROG.
though. While yes, it does open the control
You know,
center
so-
within the game bar, there is now a larger Xbox button directly to the left of it that also brings up the game bar. Then it's just a simple task of hitting left on the D-pad to enter the control center. Asus could have just trimmed an entire button here, and it would have been fine. The rest of the buttons are what you'd expect on any controller, and they feel excellent across the board. The triggers in particular are a standout. Not only are they Hall effect, but they have the same impulse trigger tech as first-party Xbox controllers. The top of the device is where you're gonna find all the ports. 2 USB-C ports are on the left side of the device, one of which is USB 4.0. On the other side, you'll find a micro SD card reader.
It's
and
the
a
same
power
thing as the
button,
ROG,
latter of
but
which
the
doubles
back
as a
button on the
fingerprint
back of the
sensor
on the
for Windows
controller
below, and a headphone jack.
is like right here.
Cooling
No,
is handled just like most
yeah.
other
So the back buttons are just a
Big
little.
fans suck cool air through the fun-shaped
just
vents
place
on
them
the back
different
of the
spot-
device,
different
and then
spot.
spit out the hot air through vents on the top. This is effective at dissipating heat, though when the device is plugged in and set to the turbo performance mode, which happens by default, the processor will get warm, reaching up to 80 degrees Celsius in demanding games. The ROG Xbox Ally
Let me
X
tell y'all
is a
something, boy. This
7-inch
thing-
1080p
the ROG get
display
hot.
with a 120 Hz refresh rate
gets
and
hot.
support for FreeSync Premium, AMD's variable refresh rate tech. This is the exact same panel found in last year's Ally X, and that's not a bad thing, because while it's not as beautiful as the Lenovo Legion Go 2's 8.8-inch OLED display, its modest resolution makes for a perfect pairing for the Z2 Extreme. Colors look bright, the display supports up to 500 nits of brightness, and even when dimmed for battery testing, we
Have
have
to be
no
plugged
problem
in to
using
run.
the handheld in a variety of settings, including a brightly lit room. The
yeah, maybe.
120 Hz refresh rate also falls a little
We'll see
short
when
of
I get it in my hands, though.
144 Hz refresh rate, but not by much.
Tim, I feel like this is what you need, man.
Going to be running at 120 FPS.
Nah,
especially
this
if you're
this
trying
one.
to play higher
Well, the
speed
black
games
one is $1,000.
or Expedition 33. Plus, the variable refresh
the
rate
white
makes
one is-
sure that even when the frame rate drops,
White one would be like 630 with
things
tax.
stay as
35 with
smooth
tax.
as possible.
You gotta think though, man. I'm telling you, I got an ROG.
While the Asus ROG Xbox Ally
I'm
X
telling you,
is
man,
an excellent
it's-
handheld gaming
it's-
PC in its own right, What really makes this device
Now
special
the
is
black
the
one
software
ROG was
experience.
$899. Y'all know
ASUS's
everything that went up.
partnership with Microsoft
So
nets it the first
that's the only reason
implementation
it's $1,000,
of
man. It
Xbox
probably would have been
full-screen
like
experience, which
$799.
won't be available for other Windows devices until early 2026, which is
Price will drop, though.
1,000 years from now. With Xbox FSE, you can go through the whole setup rigmarole with the controller. Once you're through the setup,
Oh yeah,
process,
I'll be waiting.
the
I get it
inputs
too.
into the Xbox app. Of course, Game Pass is front
Why would
and
you get the
center,
Steam then?
and that'll be great if you use that service. But if you hit left on the D-pad and
I
then
wouldn't
scroll
get it.
down, you'll get to the
Can't get the
library.
ROG,
Here,
man. I'm
you can go
telling
to
you.
My
I already
Apps
got the
and
ROG, and I'm
install
telling you, it's
third-party stores. Steam comes pre-installed, so you just need to launch it, which will open it in a new window.
it really is
But
though.
it'll take you out
Once
of
you
the
buy your
full-screen
PC, man,
experience. Likewise, if you install
you
Battle.net,
probably won't buy
Epic
another
Games
console.
Store,
Like
or
I'm not
Guardians
buying
Galaxy,
them
you'll
another
be able to
console.
go through those setup processes without ever having to interact with a desktop.
I'm not buying a console
However,
no more.
it is limited to those
Okay, none about
apps,
PlayStation
so you'll
6,
need to
none
get
of
to the
that.
desktop to download literally any other program. Luckily, getting to the desktop and back to Xbox FSE is easy, but we really wish Microsoft could find a way to work in critical applications like Windows Update to the full screen experience. In so many ways, this full screen experience feels the way PC gaming should feel, especially for folks that didn't like digging through a labyrinthine operating system. Microsoft is close to something as good as Steam OS. It just needs a few updates to get it over the finish line. Last year, the Asus ROG Ally X was exceptionally good because it took the Z1 Extreme processor and stretched it further than other handhelds were able to. The Xbox Ally X does basically the same thing with a Z2 Extreme. Even without the full screen experience, the Xbox Ally X is a powerful little handheld, delivering 42 FPS in Cyberpunk 2077 and 76 FPS in Forza Horizon 5, both at high settings, without ray tracing, and with upscaling set to quality. That's already good performance, but when we tested those games in the full screen experience, performance improved to 44 FPS and 77 FPS respectively. Now, that's not a huge bump by any means, but in the case of Cyberpunk 2077, that's a 5% boost to performance by just booting into the Xbox app. What's more impressive though is how those numbers compare to the Lenovo Legion Go 2, which uses essentially the same chip. In Forza Horizon 5, the Lenovo Legion Go 2 only managed 65 FPS to the Xbox Ally X's 77. That is an 18% improvement. And in the Cyberpunk 2077 benchmark, the Ally X beats the Legion Go 2 44 FPS to 37 FPS. Another
Oh yeah. I forgot. That's why I ain't getting them, man.
The Xbox Ally X
I was on Best Buy, man, and
17-watt performance mode.
if I could have picked it up, I would have
got
got
a
it.
solid 30 FPS at high settings in Cyberpunk 2077 throughout our battery rundown test, only really dropping when entering Dogtown. It always
Hey, don't you already got?
Asus's
What you mean
favorite
ROG?
just by
You
virtue
getting the
of
ROG
having a low
Ally X,
resolution display,
or you
even
getting
if
the
it's a small
Xbox ROG?
difference. 1080p
Samurai.
on
I know
Xbox
you.
Ally X versus 1200p on the Legion Go 2. The Xbox Ally X isn't going to be as powerful as a gaming console that you need to plug in and connect to your TV, and expecting otherwise out of a portable device like this would be silly. However, with how well it plays even demanding games like Cyberpunk without making them look muddy, makes the Xbox Ally X the handheld to beat right now. There, we said it. There's only so much battery you can put into such a small chassis, and if you want a powerful chip, it's going to suck up as much power as it can. But despite that, the Asus ROG Xbox Ally X is a resilient little thing. When we set a stopwatch and started running down the battery with Cyberpunk 2077, the battery lasted 2 hours and 34 minutes, beating the Legion Go 2 and even tying with the Steam.
That's a cheap one
OLED,
though.
which
You
is a
getting
much
cheap,
lower power
right?
chip.
500.
We are still in the realm of handhelds only lasting a couple of hours while playing games, but a 2.5 hour session playing a demanding game is nothing to shake a stick at.
Let's see, man. Let's see what that Steam
Asus
they
ROG
hit.
Xbox Ally X's
That
price is
Steam
kind
Deck.
of the elephant in the room. At $999, not only is it more expensive,
What if you were prepared for all those interview curveballs? Practice the interview before the interview.
I'm a content strategist. That means I have a closet full of roles. One moment, I'm an email copywriter. The next, I'm a social media manager.
Well, hey, my battery
Valve's
run low on the
training studio.
ROG too, though, man. It's a lot of power on it. You probably can get two. You can get 2 hours of gaming on it,
2 years since the
and
Steam Deck
it really
launched.
depends on what you're
Literally
running.
hundreds of updates, an ever-expanding catalog of deck-verified games, and a bevy of useful
Tim, I'm
accessories.
telling you, man, get the ROG though.
Handheld, Linux-powered PC
If
solidify
you gonna do
itself
it,
as
get the
more than just a
ROG.
flash in the pan. Now we can add hardware revisions to that list too. And in the 2023 OLED version, which replaces the LCD original without increasing the price, Valve has addressed virtually every criticism
Wait, me
leveled
waste
in our
money. I'm not getting no
2022
Steam Deck.
with a surgical precision.
Why would I get a Steam Deck? And I got a ROG. Let's do that. That's crazy.
The new Steam Deck OLED is
The
an upgrade
Xbox
across the board.
ROG
Let's
out.
make one thing clear right off the bat. This is not Steam Deck 2. Valve has been very clear that while it does plan to make a second generation Steam Deck at some point in the future, that device won't see the light of day until there have been enough advancements in mobile processing power to produce a true generational upgrade. As such, you can expect the Steam Deck OLED to have the exact same gaming performance as the original. Now, that might not be much of an exciting selling point for gamers, but it means that developers don't need to worry about a moving
TM,
performance
get the
target when
ROG.
optimizing their games. So it doesn't fundamentally change the experience of playing games, but it makes that experience much better in a number of significant ways. The clearest and most obvious is the new OLED screen, which, though still displaying 1200 by 800 resolution, is bright and vibrant and makes games look even better than before. It's actually slightly larger too, measuring 7.4 inches diagonally, up from a flat 7. It's HDR certified, capable of 1000 nits of peak brightness with wide color gamut, and it has a refresh rate of up to 90 Hz, which is an increase from 60 Hz on the original. Side by side, the difference is clearly noticeable. The neon streets of Cyberpunk 2077 glow brighter and more vibrantly, while shadowy areas are bathed in an inky blacks. Even in SDR content, where the screen maxes out at 600 nits brightness, the clarity of OLED simply looks excellent. You can't really see the difference on this video unless you're watching on an OLED screen yourself, but anyone who's made the jump from Switch up to the Switch OLED model can attest to the improved visual experience.
Here's how a Digital Storm workstation can accelerate your animation and 3D modeling projects. We only use trusted, professional-grade components that are optimized for stability.
Besides that, when you're holding it in your hand, everything about the new deck is physically the same, though you might notice it's 30 grams lighter. That's only about a 5% difference, but it's not insignificant in something that you're holding for a long period of time. It's still a fairly chunky handheld that's nonetheless comfortable to hold, with excellent ergonomics and a slew of useful control options, ranging from its standard gaming inputs to its unique dual touchpads, touch-sensitive screen, and programmable back buttons. However, the new screen tech has changed a few things on the inside as well. Valve's engineers told me that the OLED panel they're using this time around is actually a bit thinner than the original LCD, which means there's slightly more room for everything else to grow into. Most importantly, there was room for a larger battery, 50 watt-hours up from 40 on the original. It's also better about using that power thanks to an updated AMD APU that's more efficient. Again, it's not more powerful, so you won't get better frame rates, but it's able to hit that same level of performance while using less power and running cooler. All of these things, combined with the fact that the OLED screen itself uses less power, despite running at a higher brightness and higher refresh rate, allows Valve to claim that the Steam Deck OLED gets 30 to 50% better battery life compared to its predecessor. Here's the thing though, based on my testing, that's actually a conservative estimate. Running Cyberpunk 2077 at 50% brightness, the Steam Deck LCD lasted just over an hour and a half from a full charge, while the Steam Deck OLED lasted a full hour longer. That's a 66% improvement and a significant difference in
I agree. The button too small, and I don't like the placement.
Another benefit of using less power is that
I don't like the placement of it.
And along with redesigned thermals and a larger fan, that makes this a noticeably cooler handheld.
Yeah, I don't like the placement of the Steam Deck.
That the OLED model averages 5 to 10 degrees cooler at hot spots around the vents, and there's less heat spread across the rest of the device. There's also a bunch of other little improvements. The OLED model supports Wi-Fi 6 for 2 to 3 times faster downloads if your router supports it. It also gives Bluetooth a dedicated radio instead of sharing one with the Wi-Fi, which means better Bluetooth connectivity overall. Valve says the haptics, trackpads, and touchscreen have all been improved as well. I can't say I noticed much of a difference on the haptics or trackpads, but the touchscreen is definitely slightly more responsive, making it easier to punch small buttons and type on the on-screen keyboard. Taken alone, these changes are not much to write home about, but they are improvements across the board nonetheless, and taken together, simply make for an even better experience using the Steam Deck.
Hey, Tina, ain't nothing wrong with it though. If you want to get it though. If that's the one you want to go for. I'm telling you firsthand, man, go for the ROG.
Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on gaming performance.
Yeah, and I got the white
that I
one.
ran, the results matched those of the original deck within 3 frames per second.
That's what I'm on now, the ROG,
It's
man.
still a highly capable handheld PC, especially if you dig in and tweak settings to find the optimal balance of performance and battery life. What has changed is that there have been a boatload of competitors that have come out since the original Steam Deck, and the OLED
I'm not buying that.
slightly less impressive relative to Windows-based handhelds like the Asus ROG Ally, the
Look at the
Lenovo
ROG.
Legion
It look
Go,
better. It
and
just look.
many from Aya Neo, among others. But the margins there are relatively small, and most of those are significantly more expensive. In my experience, I've found the Steam Deck to be far and away more convenient and enjoyable to use than any of those, thanks to the smoothness of the Steam OS interface.
I mean, the graphics is gonna be good on
Unless you
all
wanna
of
go
them.
into desktop mode and mess around with your files, in which case you'll need to know how to use Linux. The one area where those Windows handhelds have the upper hand is when playing games that don't play nice with SteamOS. It's still a pain if you want to play games that aren't on Steam, with varying degrees of difficulty. Most from Epic Game Store, GOG, and itch.io are possible if you're willing to dive into the Linux desktop, install some third-party launchers, and jump through other compatibility hoops. But it's definitely more of a hassle than the out-of-the-box ease that Windows brings. Even then, there are still some notable omissions. Games that use easy anti-cheat, like Fortnite and Call of Duty Warzone, remain unplayable on SteamOS. And even though Destiny 2 is on Steam, Bungie will actually ban you if you try to bypass the SteamOS Proton incompatibility. Sure, all of those compatibility problems go away if you install Windows on your Steam Deck, which is entirely possible, but does bring its own set of headaches. Valve's
You hear that? You hear that, Tim?
Some, but not all.
It's telling you about a lot of
when we
problems.
first reviewed the Steam Deck, so I still can't recommend sacrificing the quality of life user experience of SteamOS if you
You
don't
got to download Windows and all that. See, ROG already
Given all
come
the
with the one.
improvements Valve has packed in, you might expect the Steam Deck
Already
OLED
come
to
with the
cost
one.
more than its predecessor. Instead, storage has doubled for essentially the same price.
Then if you already got an
It still
Xbox,
has
you might as well
three
get the
price
ROG
tiers,
Xbox.
but now the $399
That way you can just
entry
download the
plan is
games on there and
exact
play it
same
on the go.
256 gig LCD model that used to sit at the $529 middle tier spot. The new middle tier costs $549 and gets you the new OLED version with all of the aforementioned upgrades and 512 gigabytes of storage. Meanwhile, the $649 OLED comes with 1 terabyte of storage. As before, the high tier model comes with an anti-glare coating on the screen as well as an exclusive carrying case. Meanwhile, the old 64 gig and 512 gig LCD models are dropping even further in price to $349 and $449 respectively, but those will only be available while supplies last. The Steam Deck OLED is a clear, across-the-board improvement on what was already a fantastic gaming handheld. Steam Deck has matured greatly since it launched, and though there will always be some holes in its catalog that don't work out of the box, the fact that you can easily play 2023 games like Diablo 4, Baldur's Gate 3, and Cyberpunk 2077 Phantom Liberty on the go with few compromises make it a fantastic way to clear your backlog when you're away from your main PC. The OLED model brings hardware tweaks beyond the absolute gorgeous screen, but the real star of the show is the improved battery life, which puts the Steam Deck significantly more clearly in the portable category than simply a handheld device that you'll need to keep plugged in most of the time. Add in a slew of small but altogether significant improvements combined with twice as much storage at the same price, and the Steam Deck OLED is a fantastic device that is an obvious choice for anyone looking to get into handheld PC gaming. Heck, if you're constantly running down your battery on your current Steam Deck, it might even be a big enough deal to consider upgrading. For more coverage of Steam Deck and the new Steam Deck OLED, keep it right here.
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing tech, but this Ridge one quickly became a favorite. So this, a 10,000 milliamp hour battery that's already this small, is pretty clutch, but it's also pretty loaded. Built-in braided USB-C cable and lightning cable for fast charging, that just makes sense. But it can also do wireless charging, and you better believe if it's an iPhone, it can also do MagSafe. And it also comes in 3 colors, matte black, matte olive, and, I guess perfect for the new iPhone 17 Pro color, Basecamp Orange. And yes, in case you're wondering, I could also do wired and wireless charging at the same time from this thing. But it's even more loaded than that. In the center here, right in the middle, that is actually an Apple Watch charger. On the back, it also has a kickstand, so you can charge the phone while it's propped up, maybe watching a video or even just chilling in standby mode at your desk. And anytime you want to see your battery percentage, you guessed it, there's a screen at the bottom. So this thing is basically portable peace of mind in 3 different matte colors, all for 70 bucks. Technically still everyday carry. They don't miss.
Do you think this dethrones the Steam Deck?
Yeah, absolutely. I want people to get the best, right? Not
Trash.
shit. Yeah.
Trash.
Why would you want to pay $70 for a Cyberpunk when you could pay like way less than that?
Welcome to the very first episode of Tom's Guide's Handheld Showdown, where the best gaming handhelds available right now in 2025 will battle it out to see which one is crowned the ultimate handheld gaming console.
It feels like more and more companies are getting into the handheld space, and this feels like the new frontier for gaming.
We asked you guys on socials to rank your favorite handhelds, and after tallying up the most mentioned devices and where they landed, we vetted the picks with our team, people who've actually used these devices, to make sure the matchups make sense.
So we've settled on 8 devices, but even though more have been announced, I'm looking at you, Acer. They're still not available to purchase.
If you disagree with the seating, well, it's our bracket, our video, so I hope you can get over it. Tony and I will be using our years of experience to give you a rundown on each device and why we think it should go through to the next round. We'll then throw it back to you, the audience, to vote and see which device progresses. Voting will take place here on the channel and tomsguide.com, so make sure you're subscribed and you hit that bell so you don't miss the notification when the poll drops. We will then tally up the votes each week and announce the winners in the next video, where 4 will become 2 and finally 2 will become 1 when we announce our winner at the end of the month. So, Tony, what are you feeling about this competition?
I am super excited. We have some of the best handhelds out there, and this is a market that just keeps growing and growing and growing, and I'm eager to see which one comes out on top.
So without further delay, let's find out who's going head-to-head in episode 1. Starting things off, we have the ROG Ally X in our first seed and the Switch 2 surprisingly in our 8th seed. Tony, I see you already making a face. I know you have some really strong opinions on the Switch 2, so let me take that one. But why don't you kick us off with the ROG Ally X?
All right, so the ROG Ally X is basically like the original, but just a lot better. It has longer battery life, but still retaining some of the best aspects of its predecessor. That is the 7-inch 1080p display, same ergonomic design, same processor, the Z1 Extreme chip, and it comes in black, which I prefer more than the white.
I mean, I think you brought up same processor. How's this a successor to the Ally when we've basically got the same exact performance and now they're charging like another $300?
Yes, it is more expensive, but you know, that battery life, if you're out on the road, bro, like, you want as much battery life as possible. You don't want it just dying on you like 30 minutes in, you know? And if you want, you can even use this to actually get work done on. So I don't think there's a contest. Yes, it might be more expensive than the Switch, but
A lot more expensive.
yeah, but you could do way more with it.
But what's the thing you always mention
Yeah.
that you hate about this?
Yeah, the only main con about this is that even though it does let you play Windows 11 games, it's still Windows 11 and it's annoying navigating through.
Especially on the touchscreen.
Yeah, especially on touchscreen. That could be a pain, but you at least get a big library.
Yeah. So if you try to buy this on ASUS's website, which you actually can't because it's sold out, it's $7.99. Yeah, $7.99. But everywhere that you can actually buy it, BestBuy.com, it's $8.99. So it's even actually gone up in price.
Which is not good.
All right, so that's the Ally X, but the newest system that we have here is the Switch 2. And I think this has definitely been the one with the most buzz, the most hype. It has a lot of meaningful upgrades over the original Switch, at least for me. I mean, you've got the nicer, bigger display. You have a lot more processing power here. So it actually feels more comparable to these other systems now. It doesn't feel like, you know, just a Switch, or it doesn't just feel like I'm running my Nintendo games. You can actually run games like Cyberpunk 2077. You're getting comparable performance to the, what was it, the Xbox Series S, which is just insane to think about. It's basically an Xbox in your hand now, especially with the new custom NVIDIA processor. I also think like a really big win with this is the portability. Like, Nintendo hasn't forgotten that the whole point of this is taking it on the go, and compared to every other system that we have on the list now, this is the one that feels most comfortable using for a long time. Yes, maybe the Joy-Cons aren't the most ergonomic, especially for certain games, but it's lightweight, you still have a really big screen, and you're not gonna get tired as quickly when you're playing this. Till Nintendo can release some first-party games that are truly, like, compelling, I don't know, maybe Pokemon ZA will convince me to finally make the plunge and spend $450 on this. But here's another bummer, and you brought this up when you mentioned the Ally X. We have access to not just Windows games. We can buy games on Steam, GOG, Ubisoft, whatever. Sales. Nintendo is always going to be charging us full price if we buy it
every single time.
Every single time. And they're the ones pushing for the $70 and $80 games that now a lot of other people are like, oh, we can charge that much for games?
And like, you know, you kind of made my point for me. Yeah, this is great for Nintendo games. If you're a Nintendo fan, fantastic. But, you know, I think more people are, you know, they want third-party support, right? And you're going to get it on something like this.
Those are our thoughts on the Ally X and the Nintendo Switch 2. And now it's down to you. Once you've finished watching here, go to the post tab on our channel and leave your vote. Are you going with the ROG Ally X or the Switch 2? It's all up to you. I mean, our show's up to us, but it's all up to you. The next matchup as we head across to the other side of the bracket is the Battle of the Steam Decks. I think it makes sense to give a little context. Let's start with the original Steam Deck LCD.
Right, so this is the one that pretty much launched the revolution when it comes to handheld.